Hey guys, we're gonna do a little live tonight. I have worked this gyuto with stainless steel clad. I have done the progression from 180 grit to 3K, and I thought it would be cool to continue the discussion I started on the stainless clad gyuto to make a live and to show you last step of polishing and to finish the knife with you. So tonight we're gonna polish this gyuto. It's 3K Naniwa right now, and we're gonna have fun together finishing the knife. And if you have questions about polishing process, stainless steel clad polishing, I'm here, I'm around. I don't have a lot of experience, it's first one, but I have done this one and I understand a little bit more of this material, which is, to be honest, not really different from iron. I would say the feeling on the stone is different. As I said previously, I felt the coarse stone were very efficient on the stainless steel, and it was even more efficient than on raw iron. We can discuss about whetstone, of course, but this is Naniwa Shozera line or Naniwa Pro. It's 3000 grit stone, and it's where I've just stopped, and we're gonna continue from there. So when I'm finishing a knife and I reach the 3K, to make a perfect polish on the whetstones, it's taking time, and hi Julian, it's taking time, and actually maybe the best way to have the perfect polish would be to go back again to 400 or even 200 grit once you reach your 3K. Main reason is that you need to know the blade. It's not like an easy thing to do, polishing a knife, and that's now 3-4 years I'm polishing almost all my knives on the stones. Tonight the Nakiri Onyaki is actually one of the few knife I'm showing you which is not going through a stone process. Yes, so what I wanted to say is that when you reach your 3K, then you know about the potential of your knife, meaning when you reach the 3K, you know where there is a good contact, where there is not so good contact, where there is some scratches that are difficult to erase, and also about the geometry, where the blade is flatter, where the blade is more convex. And if we wanted to make the absolute perfect job on this knife, aesthetically, because as a cutting knife it's enough, we would need to go back with all those information and tune the knife, so make the flattest part more convex and the most convex part more flat, to even everything. Yes, Telo. So I'm always thinking about perfection, because 4 years I'm polishing knives like that. My only goal was to be able to find a process which is as effective as possible to get the perfect finish, meaning really perfect geometry, so the stone can really fly on the stone. And after 3-4 years, I can realize that it's a very long process. It's very difficult, and it's almost impossible to get it when you do the first progression. You almost need always to do one progression the best you can, and then come back to 400 if you want perfect. Sometimes I do it. This time I didn't. Sometimes I do it because I'm crazy about one blade and I want it perfect. And this one, it's a different style. For me, it's a working blade mostly, and I want it to cut perfect. I want an even bevel, but I don't want crazy perfection. To achieve a perfect polish on such a knife, it's difficult to say, but would be at least 1 day. I think if I spend one big day, I can maybe have a perfect knife, perfect polished knife. And I would say more realistically, maybe 1.5 day to have something perfect. It also depends the material, and it depends the perfection. It's not easy to say actually, but let's say 1.5 day. Okay, so we're gonna finish the knife. How can we finish the knife? Of course, we're gonna use the natural stones, but you know, there is different scratch pattern, and there is actually different way to finish the knife with different type of scratch pattern. I 99% of the time try to go for longitudinal scratches. To me, they make the thing more pretty, more even. I like that all the scratches and the line follow the knife and the knife shape, so it's not something that you can catch, and almost you can hide a little bit scratches that are obviously here. Okay, so let's do a last row on this Naniwa 3K. Let's first flatten it. So I got a nano hone button, super expensive ML10. You don't need this. I mean, I got it because I had a grant, so I'm very happy to have it, but for the price, get something else. Get 10 times something else, something like that. If you're crazy about sharpening, polishing, and you got the budget, go for it, of course. But if you're tight on your budget, don't make you bloat more. Can't say what did you miss. Yes, Atoma 140 is economic and very good enough. Okay, so I got a flat stone now, and I'm gonna try to work on this blade. Already on this side, he gave away the mercury. What do you mean? Okay, so if you look at that knife, maybe you can see some lighter color lines, and I guess this stainless steel will not be nice with me, because I can see that these lines, those white parts are quite showing off. So I guess even on the final stone there will be trouble with this, but just what I mean is that all those little lighter parts, sorry, I'm thinking while I'm speaking, so it's not always very easy, and these lines, I'm sure you can see that, okay, these diagonal lines, these are part of problems of the shape of the knife, and with 3K I can't save it. I can deal with it. I can a little bit play and find a way to have a good polish even with problems, but they are there, and if you want perfect polish, you go back to 400 and you try to erase them and not create more. Okay, so let's try this side a little bit. I'm going a little bit diagonal, not too much longitudinal, not 45 degrees, let's say 60, I don't know. And I go slowly, try to feel the bevel. Okay, just slowly. Okay, I can see that this is okay, and I can see that I got a color which is even. I got a dark color and contrast, and this means I should get something okay with my naturals. If your finish is pretty bad on your synthetic, don't expect to be better with naturals, and don't spend your natural if you're not able to make a nice polish with your synthetic. Naturals, they are unique. Synthetic, we can make some more, so don't use your natural too much. Of course you can use it, but don't use your natural too much if the bevel is crap. Hi Peter. Okay, if you have questions, of course, tell me. So as you can see, I got a darker color and it's quite alright. I didn't erase all those lines here and all those white dots here yet. I'm not gonna insist too much on it, but we'll see if there is some magic way with the naturals. Because naturals tend to sometimes burnish less than those synthetic. Burnishing is when the iron or the stainless clad get whiter than the rest. Normally, if you're working and you have a perfect even bevel with a perfect even stone and you rub them together, it will make dark matte finish because it's soft material. When it's burnishing, it means there is a problem with the geometry. Burnishing is white parts. Only way to avoid those white lines, white part, burnished part, is to smoothen. If it's white, it means it's a higher part on your bevel. It's high spots. So when there is too much convexity, it means there is too much convexity. You have too much high spot of convexity, and you need to flatten a little bit more to smoothen, to blend a little bit more your bevel, your different convex, because we are working on stones. They are hard tools, so they make facets, and when there is facets there, it means there is a ridge between facets, and those ridges, there are mostly problems when you want perfect polish. And when you got it near the shinogi, near the kuroshi, it's just mean that sometimes you overgrind a little bit. So actually you feel that it's maybe it is overgrind, but it is now able for the stone to touch those points, and because they are higher, they burnish. So perfection will be to have all the shinogi at one line, one even line, doing sometimes like this, because this is due to the thickness of here, because this line is the meeting of this surface with this surface. So you have sometimes wobbly shinogi, but even with a wobbly shinogi, you have normally one line lengthwise, and every time there is a little bit more material, it will burnish. Every time you tilt a little bit your knife and go to the crochet, you will burnish. We are human, so we try to do our best, and sometimes we use finger stones to solve those problems because there's too much problem. But if you want perfect polish directly from the stone, you need to check about all this evenness, tilting, going slower, because generally we go too fast. If you want perfect polish, you can't go fast. You need to polish very slowly. Yeah, a bit more flattening the bevel where it needs to be flattened. It means where there is too much convexity. And too much convexity is sometimes this way, and sometimes too much convexity is this way, or you have your flat shinogi and then you overgrind the shinogi at some place, so you have a convexity right at the shinogi instead of having a perfect contact with the shinogi, which is normally due to a flat surface. And yes, Peter, foundation is everything. You can buy 3,000 euros perfect natural stone, which is like the most perfect stone on earth, and it won't work. It just won't work with your shitty bevel. Yeah, this was the trick, to put a lot of pressure, and maybe I will show you in a minute, and it will, I'm sure it should work, because if you put a lot of pressure, you force your bevel to make the contact, and you force your stone to take the shape of your bevel, and even if the bevel is a little bit shitty, you force the contact to be perfect. Okay, let's do the other side. So this is working on the edge part, because I'm making a little bit flat surface next to shinogi, but I'm also making a little convex surface going to the edge. Flat surface along shinogi, it will help with a nice kurushi bevel transition and nice shinogi, and little convexity on the edge is for more strength for the knife, and it's also solving some problem with the geometry. I spoke about that in previous video. The bevel is not one angle like this, and it's not a chisel. It's not a wooden chisel. Knife bevel are difficult because, and even more difficult when they are tapered, because they start with a steeper angle, bigger angle here, and they go slowly to a thinner angle. So you have a twist. So you have a twist doing this, okay? At the heel, another tip. You have a twist, and if you don't put any convexity on your knife, you don't have to put convexity if you don't want it, but if you don't put it, you will have some places where you are inside the twist, okay, inside the twist, and inside the twist it will be difficult to polish. The stone will have difficulty to have a contact, because it will be a little bit hollow in the middle, because your bevel is flat in this direction. So I'm putting convexity so I can solve a little bit this problem of twisting. Let's say, yeah, making contact easier. Okay, so let's use another stone. I'm generally using this stone then, after the Naniwa Shozera 3K, I'm using Naniwa Super 3K. Naniwa Super is a polisher. It's soft stone. It's soft stone, and you can have a very mirror polished bevel mostly edge, but even all bevel, while using a stone which is, yeah, very soft. So it's very easy to use. I use it with a lot of water. Well, Julian, I got the Namikawa and I used them, but I think they are not really great for Sanmai. Yeah, in my opinion, too soft and not giving a scratch pattern I like for the Sanmai. So I use mostly Naniwa Pro and Diamond Stone for the coarse grit stones. And for me, my opinion is that Naniwa is much better for Sanmai. Okay, so I'm gonna put very low pressure on this bevel, and the stone is soft, so it should make something, let's say, nice. And you see, I can go slower where there is difficulty, where there is difficult transition, too much convexity. Okay, and this will work quite well at blending. Not perfect, but better. Okay. Well, all polishers are different, Julian, so yeah, if you prefer them, you should use them. If they give you the result you want, that means that the good stones. For me, they are great for Honyaki, but not really made for Sanmai. Something I'm thinking of just right now is about the handling of a knife. I have started recently to really force me to put finger and thumb like this, and it was a little bit not fun at the beginning, but it's giving much more stability for those Sanmai Kuroshi knives. Those Sanmai Kuroshi knives, they need really a lot of precision, because shinogi is not coming from two surface you work and you can go from one to another. Kuroshi, you only work from one side, so you have only choice to be really good on that side to make a shinogi, to make a good looking shinogi. So you need a lot of stability. Goodbye, Taylor. Take care. Hope to see your stones soon. I'm thinking of them all day long and night long too. Okay, so I think you can see, but I got quite a nice contrast. And yes, my steel is now mirrored thanks to that stone. This stone is really a steel cleaner. It's helping you to have a very bright steel, a mirror one. It's 3K, but it feels a little bit thinner than 3K actually, and it's really great to make your steel clean and shiny. And then we will use maybe natural stone to break that too much mirror synthetic finish, and we will use some matte finish with thanks to the natural stones. But for your preparation, I think this stone is what you want. You want gritty, clean, bright steel, so you can see all your scratches, all your previous scratches, and clean everything. Okay, let's stop there. Sorry, it's always... I try to find a way to show you better, but my camera is giving the light for the room and not for the blade. Not easy to show, not easy. Okay, so let's grab some natural stone. I would start, I got this huge one which is natural, and it's my new workhorse stone. Maybe we will use it, but this is more convenient for the life. Let's clean this. Let's clean the water. And let's take one Atoma plate which is only used for natural stones. I used 2 stones and they're both Naniwa. With the stand, this is Naniwa Shozera, it's 3000 grit. And this is a little bit more pinky, and this is Naniwa not traditional, Naniwa Super 3000 grit again. And this is one of most famous stone made still made and extracted today in Japan, and it's Maro Oyama Shirosuita. One of the best stone for starting polishing your bevel. Okay, so I flatten the stone too. I go 140 grit. It's an old Atoma, so it's not very coarse. And then I go a little bit 400 grit. Whoop. I got something that scratched the stone. Okay, so I clean Atoma, I clean the stone after flattening. I don't start with the slurry of the stone generally. Too much risk for contamination grits. Okay, and let's see what this stainless is saying on a natural stone. It feels soft, and it feels also a little bit elastic, supple, dragging a little bit. It's not like super smooth. So yeah, if you have question about stainless steel clad and the process, in my opinion, it was not as difficult as I was fearing of. Most people said on the stone it's not really a nice clad to work. It's not like super nice, but it's really all right. It is getting some deeper scratches easily, and then to solve them it's a little bit troubles, but that's okay. Sure, this natural stone is a very famous one for the people using Japanese natural stones, and this is Maruoyama. Maruoyama, it's a mine in Japan, and the stone within the mine is Shiro Suita. Shiro is white, Suita is the type of strata, normally the deepest part of the mountain, so it's that sort of strata. And yeah, Maruoyama is one mine in Japan. Finish is quite even. Really, it's not too bad. Let me dry a bit. I still got a little bit of trouble toward the tip, where there is a little bit too much convexity. And I wouldn't say that, sorry, I'm gonna change the camera. This one is normally better. Okay, so as you can see, it's not easy to show. Okay, you got some even color, that's all right. And then I'm going to the tip and I got all those lines which are convexity line, because this angle is bigger, or yeah, stronger angle, and this one is flatter, shallower. So I got some transition here. That should be solved with coarser stones, but you can a little bit insist to get something okay. Okay, and the rest of the bevel is, yeah, okay, quite even. All right, so this side is done. Let's try the other one. It's quite a soft clad, so you should not push too much, not to put too much pressure on this clad. And I'm polishing with more or less longitudinal scratches. That's the way I like to polish. And again, we got a nice evenness. Sorry, I try to find some angle again to show you. Okay, this is nice angle. So it's nice color, nice evenness. Steel is too mirror, so I'm gonna insist on the hard steel. So to make that, I can push a little bit harder on the stone, makes overall more slurry on the stone, more mud, with distinct mud slurry, because mud would be really the stone paste, and slurry would be a mix of stone and steel. So we got some more paste here, and then with this abrasive paste made of steel and stone, I can work the hot steel with moderate pressure and kill the mirror effect to make it more hazy, which I prefer personally on Kasumi finish. So yeah, working on the hot steel to make it white matte finish. And this you can, yeah, work a little bit just to reach and to get the wanted result. So while I'm doing that, do you have any question? I can hear a little bit of shitty thing because I'm doing the clown, so I need to clean the stone and start again. Why do you prefer not to start with slurry? Yeah, I said that just before. I don't start with slurry because for my experience I got too much problem with possible grit contamination from the plate or from somewhere else, I don't know. And I prefer to start with a clean stone. It will be a slower process because you need to activate a little bit the stone, making some slurry, but then I'm sure I don't have shitty thing on my stone. I'm sure the stone is clean. Salut, salut. Okay, so I'm concentrated on the hot steel. It's quite mirror, steel mirror. I mean, it's okay. It's not too mirror. It's okay. I'm gonna do the other side. But I truly like a very matte finish. So first thing I can realize now, I'm polishing some stainless steel clad, is that compared to what I have seen before, there's much more contrast than what I've seen on some other blades. So yeah, the contrast is not as big as some raw iron, but it's definitely some contrast. It's impossible to show you. I try to, but yeah. Okay, there is some contrast on the blade. It's quite nice. It's not like unbelievable nice, but it's nice. About the convexity marks, it depends. Those Maroyama, they are great to matte finish, to make a matte finish. So I got this little bit burnished surface. I can insist a little bit on it, so I put my pressure on it, and when I got some, sorry, I need to clean. as soon as I hear a weird sound, I clean everything, always. There is no rust on the flats. Maybe some, maybe there is a little bit of clay, a little bit, but there is no rust. So if you have to remove rust on the flats, this is stainless, so should be no rust. If you have some rust, you brush it, or you steel wool brush it. Okay. No, it's all fine. I use baking soda if I start to have some rust. So normally I prepare some in this bottle and I add some drops of baking soda in the water. So I was about to speak about the convexity and to clean that. So you take a Maruyama, for example, you polish that difficult part and you insist a little bit on it and you make some mud slurry with your stone while you use it. Okay, so it's taking a little bit of time, but I start to have this, and now I need to find a gesture, to find a way which is very low pressure, smooth gesture to polish that little ridge and make it not to burnish too much. If I use fingerstone, I would use the fingerstone on it and having a very little contact with it, I can make it matter. So you can use the same technique. You use your big stone like a fingerstone. Sorry, I didn't see all the messages. Okay, so I'm putting really low pressure, and on those difficult parts with a Maruyama you still have a little bit of it, but it's much better. Sorry, it's not clean. Okay. You see? So there is a little bit of burnished, but it's better. Yes, this is clean water, and I put some baking soda mix in it sometimes. Okay, let's start. Let's try a new stone, another stone. So this is Maruyama soft stone. Let's try this one. This is unknown mine, maybe Omoteyama. It's a Suita, if I remember well. It's soft and very fine, so it's perfect after Shiro Suita Maruyama. It's a stone that is still very easy to use, very soft, but finer grit, so you have a finer finish. And then we may try a harder stone. Sorry, I'm checking all the message. So salut Maxime. And harder to hit those areas with harder stone like Nakayama? Yes and no. Harder stone, they burnish. They make a burnish finish. So actually, it's much easier to use a hard stone like Nakayama on a little convex knife, I think, because you already have more tendency to have a burnished finish with the convexity. So on a hard stone, it's making the things together very well. Of course, you can have flat surface hitting a hard stone. It's possible, but in my opinion, it's a little bit harder, because it will make a burnished surface more difficult to happen, because flat tends to make matte finish much easier. And we're gonna try a Nakayama. We're gonna try it. I don't know if it's gonna be great, but we're gonna try it. I actually need to put a little bit more baking soda. I'm gonna start this side. Okay, so this will give a little bit less contrast, because the coarsest stone you use, the bigger contrast you will have generally, and so I will got a finer finish, less contrast, maybe some details in the clad. I can see that this stainless steel got some details. And for now, all those stones, so the Maruyama and this one, is easy stone to use. There is no difficulty to use this stone. Still no forced dressing other than what the knife stone produce. Sorry, how hands? I just don't understand. Maybe it's late for me, but sorry, I don't understand. Why do I put soda in water? It's to prevent rust. This is stainless steel cladding, but not core. So my core steel can rust. So I'm putting a little bit of baking soda in the water, so I'm sure there is no rust. Even at the lamination line, I can see that some rust can happen. Okay. This stone will work, I think, perfectly for this knife. We're gonna try the Nakayama quickly, but I think this stone will do it. Because it's a little bit finer, it will make a nicer finish, a little bit brighter and more details, and it will be also still even color because it's a very easy stone to use. And yeah, it won't be it will make the finish beautiful and still easy to make. I can see a little bit of burnishing already, and parts that are a little bit more difficult to reach. You can use a little bit your sides of the stones, not the corners, but your sides are always a little bit higher surface than the center. Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, yes. Most of the time, 99% of my work, my way of polishing, I will have, I will start with a clean stone. So I'm sure it's clean because I had, because I'm blacksmith, I got dust on my nails, on my hands, on my face, on my body, everywhere. So I prefer to start as clean as possible every time I'm using a stone, not using any slurry coming from another stone or from a plate, which will make the possibility of grit contamination. I don't want that. And when I go from heel to tip, I try to work along the shinogi. Okay, so I'm now reaching the tip, and I try to feel my shinogi just slightly. And when I go back to the heel, then I work on the steel, on the edge, on the edge part. So I'm sure I won't overgrind or over polish my shinogi while I'm going back, because this is smaller angle, this is stronger angle. See, if I use the same angle here as here, I will polish here. Okay, it's looking nice. Let me show you. Honestly, I can see that with the stainless steel clad, I could spend, why not, more time on the knife, making very, very clean. Maybe fingerstone would do the trick, actually. I don't know. Maybe we will use them. After 3 years polishing knives, it's a pleasure to be able to polish straight away from the stone, from the bench stone, but really don't be afraid to use fingerstone. I mean, it's great to be able to do that, but having the finish you want with the fingerstone means you reach the finish you want. Finished. That's good enough for me. Okay, so can I show you a little bit some details, because there is some. Okay, can I put the camera? No, I can't change the camera. Okay, here, maybe in the little dots of bright color you can see some details in the stainless. Well, it's not perfect. You can see, I can see some defects in the polish too. Okay. Yes, nice. And one thing you can do also on this difficult convex part at the tip, you can not put your finger on it, but just before it. And you put a little bit of pressure just before it, and you lift the knife slightly, very slightly. So you have actually your contact where there is convexity, but this is a pressure by default, meaning the pressure is not right on top of it. It's before it. And this will help to have a nice finish too. Okay, and it's looking good. This side is better than the other one. In French we say Z40, so it's Z40. I don't know the name in other language. It's a stainless steel. I'm new to it, so I don't know all the thing by head, but it's a hard stainless steel. It's not taking the quench, but it's like 0.5 carbon inside the mixture and 15% of, or maybe a little bit less, like 13 or 14% of chrome inside. Okay, and the finish on this knife could be like stopped here. Yeah, let me show you quickly. So, in my opinion, it's quite easy to work. It's not too bad. Sorry, I'm gonna change the camera again. Let's work like this. And this is what I get, okay? Could be a little bit tuned, a little bit more, but not bad. You can see all the little light whiter part here. Okay. But overall, it's okay. And I don't know if you can see it, but there is some nice, yeah, little sometimes details inside. Sorry, it's not easy to show. Okay, let's try one last stone and we will stop there. And from there, or I'm okay with the finish I got, or I'm not okay. And depends. Sometimes I will, I will go finally on one stone very gently, in a more calm situation than alive, because it's not easy to polish while talking, while being looked at. So maybe I'll do that, or I will use maybe fingerstone to have something really cleaner, even if I don't like the difference in color. Or I will be maybe able to use a very fine stone. We're gonna try that now instead of talking. And maybe this finer stone will be uh, the way, the way, because it will make a finish that this type of clad like. Okay, let's try this one. This is Nakayama, huge one. It's a friend who sent me the stone. Nader, if you're around, love it. So great, so good stone. So this is from Nader. Nader got an Instagram. It's ao.renge. If you want to look at good stones, you can have a look at it. So again, we're gonna just clean the surface a little bit, and we're gonna see how it will behave. Yeah. Yes. I can't agree more. For me, Nader is best stone picker in the world. If you want one stone to do one thing, he's the guy. This is Tomae normally. If I understood properly, it's Tomae. Which Tomae, I don't know. I think he didn't tell me, because I know that there is different layers. I'm learning that there is different layers. I don't know. This one is not the hardest, not the like mirror killer polish. It's something in between. Well, feeling is quite good. I guess I will have a nice finish on this side maybe, and the other one a little bit less. I think the other one is not as good. Not as even, not as perfect. I got some too much convexity at the tip, but that's almost the only problem I got on that side. And right now I can tell you that it's very, very smooth. It's okay. The cladding is working much better than on a Maroyama, for example, because it feels smooth. It's very nice, but I can see a little bit some defect in the preparation. That's huge problem with very fine stone, is that you can see things that you didn't see before. Yes. Well, Nakayama stones are, in my point of view, crazy stones, like magic stones that nature made. For knives, they are top stones. You can't find really better than this. Even Okudo, I don't know. I don't know much Okudo, but Okudo are made for tools. Nakayama are made for knives. For best finish on knives. Well, this stone is crazy smooth. Crazy pure, crazy smooth. Okay. I got some little thing up there. Looks like a stone grabbed the stainless steel before. Well, that's okay. Finish is nice, but maybe we should go a little bit finer stone. There is still some contrast, and you can see that there is some reflection now. Not, I don't know if I can show you those details. It's very hard for me to show you. And for example, this convex part is it's looking much better. You can see it a little bit more, but it's okay. All right. Very nice, but I would say not fine enough to make a proper difference with the other stone. On my other knife, on raw iron, it's making a lot of difference, this stone. So let's try this one. And this one is picked by Nader again. Nakayama, amazing stone. Best stone I got for cladded knife. It's unfortunately a little bit fragile. You can see that I got some little bit rough part here, but it's in the corner, so it's okay. Okay, just to wake the stone a little bit, and let's see how it will work. And this is a Suita. This is Nakayama Suita. And it's working good. It's working really good. But I can see that compared to raw iron, you don't lose contrast, and I guess the cladding is somehow reacting with the stone as if it was very, very soft. Should not be as soft as raw iron. I don't think so. It's impossible. That 40, the stainless steel I use, is very tough stainless steel as cladding. But as I can see, you don't get like a mirror finish. You get clean, but you don't get like mirror. On the raw iron, I can make really a burnished surface with this stone and make it really mirrored or semi-mirror. Okay. Okay, let me show you that. This stone is working very, very quick to clean. And well, honestly, on a stainless steel clad, why not? It could be good, could be nice. Hoopla. Yeah, it's not mirror, but it's definitely a little bit reflective. Oops. Okay, let me find some place to show you that. So you can see, it's much more reflective. I got some little scratches here and there, of course. That would need more time and patience and quiet to make it more perfect. Okay. Okay, what do you think? Quite nice. Thanks a lot. I'm happy to share with you. I would be sad to just polish in my room alone. I think one of the great things about stone polishing is there's a little community and we share things, we ask advices, we have some answers sometimes, and we have also some motivation to start again because sometimes it's really difficult. So okay, this knife is polished. Honestly, I'm gonna tomorrow I'm gonna start again, maybe with Maroyama, to tune a little bit more the finish. I try to find way to show you. It's super hard. If we go outside, it's night, but during the day would be easier maybe to show you. There is nice contrast. Okay, here you can see contrast. All right. Okay, this is the best view I can give you. Okay, so this knife is almost finished. I'm gonna stop the live now. I'm gonna finish the knife maybe tomorrow quietly to have like something very even in the finish. And maybe I will finish with this stone actually because it's looking good. Why not? Yes, it's not like super shiny, but it is shiny. I like it quite this way, that the bevel is really shine and the kurushi is very dark, like it. Very good contrast. And yeah, well, I'm gonna leave you. Have a good day all. This knife will be available next week maybe, so stay tuned. Goodbye.